Check it out. Yo, due to the sensitivity of this subject, the analogies and metaphors I'll be making between serving in the military and gang banging, it's just my opinion, and not meant to disrespect or offend. If it happens, my bad, fam. Let it be known, I got mad respect for all who choose to serve or commit themselves to something bigger than themselves. Check it out. Easily one of the most overlooked films of the era and one of the best heist films of the decade, this film conveys how black soldiers were disenfranchised and somewhat detached after serving their country in that white man's war. The title of this movie deserves credit. It refers to the old bills the government removes from circulation, taking them to some government furnace somewhere to burn it. So maybe the title was saying soldiers, like dollar bills, once purposeless, are discarded. To me, joining the military always seemed like joining the gang. For reasons unknown, though, Dead Presidents has become lost over time in a crowd of films from that era. It's a vivid, exhilarating, poignant effort that definitely deserves a contemporary audience. Dead President's message is one of the lessons Furious Styles from Boys in the Hood taught Trey, which is, no black man has any business in a white man's army. Check it out. Dead Presidents is loosely based on Hayward T Kirkland's book, Bloods, an oral history of the Vietnam War by black veterans, from 1984. Dead Presidents doesn't just reflect the black perspective. It's a soldier story, much like Rambo in First Blood, leaving you with the overarching question being, why don't they just treat vets better? Why don't they treat veterans better? Check it out. What's it about? A black soldier re-entering society, attempting to pick up where he left off, but everything has changed. Dead Presidents is a stylish crime biop with smooth funk and soul music laced in the background as the soundtrack. The film introduces us to locations that, like the characters, evolve over time, with each different era feeling distinct like its own unique location. This film takes place from the 60s throughout the 70s. Check it out. Characters? Anthony was a good-natured high school kid from New York. As a soldier, he was reconnaissance. Before the war, he was a numbers runner for a gangster named Kirby. That's what the lottery was called before the government stepped in. Skip was a childhood friend of Anthony and Jose. He was a fake wannabe pimp before the military. After the war, things on him was hard. He not only came home on drugs, but with Agent Orange.
The heroin ain't never did nothing to me. A lot of vets covered out with this shit.
Jose was that crazy friend we all have. His outcome was foreshadowed with his characteristics of being a pyromaniac.
I'm shooting my fucking way out.
Juanita. Initially, what we know about her is that she loves Anthony, and she's willing to wait for him. However, she's essentially an army wife, so she cheats.
I'll go back there and kill that bastard.
Kirby? Kirby could be considered a local gangster, an OG. He runs a pool hall where he controls the numbers, and even with one leg, he's a stand-up, no-nonsense, tell-it-like-it-is type of guy. Delilah is Juanita's sister. When she was younger, she had a crush on Anthony. Now older, she's a militant revolutionary fighting for the rights of her people. And we can't forget about Cleon. Cleon was in Anthony and Skip's unit during Vietnam. He's a bit different and the son of a preacher, so that kind of explains it.
Now Jesus loves you.
Lessons. Despite being an army of one, military institutions are inherently racist. As a result, many black veterans have to fight two battles, one against the enemy and one against racists. Lesson. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Despite pride or how disrespectful that hand is, biting the hand that feeds you only removes an opportunity that you couldn't provide for yourself. Lesson. Here, what happened to Anthony is a result of a narrow perspective and limited opportunities. This is what happens to good kids without broader horizons. Please, broaden your horizons.
Sound like you rich or something. You ain't got a fucking job. I know. Well, you better take your ass off to college, man. I'm telling you. Uncle Sam grab your ass.
Skip, man, ain't nobody gonna grab me.
Jose, look at you. You're a recruiter's dream. You're a 1A. That's why I'm going to Hunter College. I ain't fighting no white man's war. Shit.
Lesson.
Straighten up
For
there,
better or
Marine.
worse, usually worse, war changes people. What I see is someone misunderstanding the terms and conditions of an agreement. The military, like the police, are more similar to gangs than they are different. Anthony went to Vietnam gangbanging as an American soldier, expecting to be recognized as an American hero, instead returning with less prestige or social value than a gang member returning home from prison. His perception wasn't even that of the OG type might have received. I'm befuddled with the thought of attempting to spread the idea of freedom that one being black couldn't fully enjoy in the 60s or 70s. The parallels of being a vet and a gang member meet, as you'll receive a lifetime of experience without maturity as a prerequisite. That, coupled with the gravity of what an army is used for, are the perfect ingredients for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which, like many vets, Anthony suffers from also. We're witnessing what happens to good, poor, and disenfranchised kids without broader horizons. They get filled with ideas of grandeur, then sent off blatantly by gangs or, inadvertently, by institutions that only see them as collateral. For what it's worth, Anthony was a good person. However, what happened in dead presidents is what you get when you take a look at the long-term and immediate effects of war, mixed with the dark grittiness of a hood crime drama. Check it out. In conclusion, most people that join the military do it without alternatives, out of opportunity, not nationalism or patriotism. Much like people join gangs for the feeling of protection, prestige, and the power that comes from having a family. Anthony joined the Marines like his dad because he didn't want to go to college like his suck-up older brother. However, the post-life of majority of soldiers is bleak, as is for most former gangsters or gang members. If it was ever really about that life and you still feel entitled, as if the world, your block, or your nation better recognize, like Anthony, you're in for a rude awakening. On the surface, Dead Presidents depicts a heist of old dollar bills retired from circulation to be burned in a furnace. Beneath the surface, it addresses the issues of Black Americans' involvement in the Vietnam War. From what I've seen, the sacrifice of war leverages the collateral of humanity for whatever cause you're fighting for. Whether local or geopolitical, it's usually not for freedom but for profit. Them dead presidents. In all, my opinion can never be more disrespectful than the treatment of majority of soldiers by their own government. Nonetheless, whatever you're fighting for, I hope you take care of yourself and choose wisely. I want to send a special shout out to all you new subscribers out there. I see you hood figures. You're appreciated, straight up. As always, I'm Fox. This is Check It Out. Like, share, subscribe, so the big homie can survive. I see you hood figures. Check it out. I got a little extra. Extra. Check it out. What happened to Skip with Agent Orange happened to a lot of Vietnam vets. Consider it collateral damage. The U.S. was either trying to deforestate the area or use biological agents against the Viet Cong. Maybe both, but they harmed their own soldiers in the process, then made getting help difficult. Chris Tucker was in Friday the same year this came out. During a firefight, you can hear Chris Tate call... What the fuck is this motherfucking name? Larenz. During a firefight, you can hear Larenz Tate calling Chris smoking. When the butcher asked Anthony if he was related to Tony Curtis, Tony Curtis is Jamie Lee Curtis' father. Why isn't his movie? I have no idea. It's speculated that the Bloods in LA were started by a squad of soldiers who called themselves that after they came back home to LA from Vietnam. Low-key, did any of y'all think Juanita was pregnant by someone else? i.e. Cutty? Morgan Freeman was also offered the role of Kirby. Imagine that. While the inspiration of this film was Hayward T Kirkland's book, Bloods, the motivation was The Deer Hunter that came out in 1978. Delilah said to Anthony,
"Nah, it's cool. I mean, it's not your fault you've been brainwashed by America."
This is a sentiment felt by so many due to America's ungratefulness of color people. especially black folks. I mean, why would you risk your life for a country that's amoral? Perhaps being brainwashed somewhat defines why some minorities join the armed forces, if it's not for opportunity. For more on the real Anthony from this movie, his real name is Ari. I'm not going to even mess up his last name. It's right there. He a real one, still fighting for veteran affairs, man. Hey, yo. I'm out. That's it. That's that. Yeah, that's it. Peace.
You listening to me? Look at him.